everyone, it's Regina. Judging by the title of this video, this isn't my normal type of content. This is ultimately a video of me explaining my experience with racial profiling at a Canadian supermarket by the name of Longo's. If this is your first time hearing about this and you just want a quick version, I don't know how long this video is going to be, I'll link my Instagram as well as TikTok where I sum it up within a few seconds, so head over there. But if you want to hear more about the story, stick around. Tuesday night, I was waiting for, so yes, I live in Canada. This all happened in the city of Toronto at the Maple Leaf Square location. So I was at Union Station waiting for a train. I had about at least 40 minutes to kill. And everything was closed because of COVID. I'm a vegetarian, so the only thing that was open was McDonald's and they just had meat sandwiches. I decided to go across the street to Longo's because I used to work in a restaurant above it. So I was hoping to find a vegetarian meal. I get there. Normally there was like a salad section. Of course, that's no more because of COVID. I don't see anything that I like. I see one thing that I remember made me sick, so I did not want that. So I continue my search. I know this building very well. I know where all the food sections are. I know where all my favorite things are. So I leave the first area. I go over to the sandwiches. They're all tuna, chicken, no. To be completely honest with you, the real villain of this story is the Longo's food section, because had I been able to find something edible, I would have been able to be on my way. But anywho, I'm getting ahead of myself. So I noticed nothing's there. I now head towards the eating area. There's a big dining area with like a Starbucks, restaurants, a lounge. I wasn't expecting, of course, the lounge to be open, but I haven't been there in a while. I just wanted to see what it was about. So I head to that direction. Everything's closed, so I turn around. At this point, I'm pretty sure this is the point I really noticed. I make eye contact with a security guard, and just by the look he gives me, I can feel negative energy. I know he's gonna give me a hard time. I haven't done anything. I haven't done anything throughout this whole video, as you'll soon learn. So once I realize that section is closed, I circle back. At this point, as I'm walking, it's a huge grocery store. You need to understand, like, this is downtown Toronto. It's a grocery store for many condos. It's beside the Scotiabank Arena. It feeds a lot of people. So I'm making my way through this very long grocery store, and I notice him in my peripheral vision. Anytime I turn around, I just see him. As a Black person, I'm not surprised. Like, we do get followed. I haven't been blatantly followed. I definitely think I've been watched in stores as a younger person. I haven't experienced this recently. Many people would describe me as a stoic person. Like, even as I retell this trauma, as you can see, like, I have not slept. I'm gonna say it in the most nonchalant way that doesn't take away from my pain. That's just my demeanor. That's just how I've been my entire life. So anyways, he's following me. And I've said this on my TikTok video, I find it funny when people profile me because I'm the last person who's gonna steal. One, that's not the person that I am. Two, I know I'm being watched, and that's the irony of it. Black people get profiled nonstop, and we know we're being watched, so no one's gonna steal in front of your face. So I'm, in a sense, like, I'm tired. I have 2 heavy bags with me. I'm just browsing around, but nonetheless, you know what? If you're gonna follow somebody, follow me. I'm not gonna get bothered. I'm a pretty unfazed person, and I'd rather you follow me than a black male or anybody else. Because a lot of people don't have the patience I have. So I'm walking around the store. I see him in my peripheral. Like I said, I'm just laughing because as he's stalking me, someone's probably scamming the self-checkout, and then they wonder why they can't account for things. They're following the wrong people. Anyway, he's following me through this whole massive grocery store. I then make my way up to the sushi bar, which is farther in the store, and he's still trailing me. There's nothing to see here. He can watch me find nothing to eat. So I go to the sushi. It's just salmon rolls, some like pork dumplings, and seaweed salad. At this point, I'm starving. The food is, this isn't me trying to bash Longo's. Honestly, the only time I mentioned something about their food, like even when they were interrogating me, I'm getting ahead of myself. I didn't insult their food, but truly, the whole reason why this happened is because there were little to no options for vegetarians, honestly. The real villain is the food selection for plant-based people. After the sushi, I'm tired at this point. I'm unfazed. I know he's following me. So as I turn around in disappointment, I make eye contact with him. And at this point, I lose. I don't say anything to him, but at this point, I'm annoyed. I'm done. I've done carrying the burden. Honestly, being a Black person is a full-time job, really. So as much as I don't want him to follow a Black man, I'm clocking out. That's it. And I mean, I wouldn't promote being a martyr or anything. And the reason why I say that is because at least if everyone has the right to be upset, but if a black man's gonna get upset, if he raises his voice or expresses frustration in the slightest bit, everybody's gonna be scared, everybody's gonna be uncomfortable. And I did get upset. I did raise my voice at one point when I was talking to the manager, but me yelling versus somebody with a deeper voice yelling and a black man, like, even if they're an assigned female at birth, I highly doubt that their voice is going to be higher than mine. I did express my frustration to the manager. A lot of people were looking, but nobody was like shaken or really like scared or anything, because I'm not that intimidating. I just in that moment felt as though I would be the better option to harass. I wasn't even going to address it in the slightest bit. I wasn't even going to turn around and ask him if I could help him. A lot of people are saying, oh, I get followed. I get it. White people get followed too. Your mom's friend's sister's boyfriend's cousin was white and followed. I get it. So that was a big thing. And I said this on TikTok. It's not even the fact that I was followed. I'm so desensitized that I didn't even care. I let this man follow me. I found it comedic in a way. Sad, but obviously comedic. So he's following me. Just as after being disappointed, he's the last face I want to see. Like, I already saw that there was nothing there. I see his face. So at this point, I clock out. I make a sharp turn in the opposite direction. I turn around, he's not following me. That was the one time he was discreet. So I then go back to where I began, looking at these salads, just trying to lower my standards and decide that I'm definitely not getting the thing that made me sick. And the only thing else was like a container of cheese with like slithers of pepper. And this gross couscous or quinoa salad that looked like it was from a gas station or like a Greyhound vending machine. So at this point, I turn around and I decide to get a slice of pizza. They're slices of pizza. They're like those square slices. So keep in mind, it's in Toronto. I just was in the city to run some errands. So I had taken a commuter train. I took the subway. I took the streetcar. On my way back, I took the I feel like Lady Gaga. Bus, another club, plane. But that's it. So I took the subway twice, streetcar twice, commuter train once. I'm on my way to the commuter train. I've touched multiple things. I'm in Union Station in Toronto. My Bath and Body Works and dollar store hand sanitizer would not be a match. And of course, if you wash your hands, there's still doors and stuff. So I was trying to avoid pizza. I just want to get out of here. I hate it here. So I just decided, okay, you know what? I'm just going to get a slice of pizza. I'll just touch I won't eat the part that I touched. So I'm about to order, and luckily this guy, my stalker, has left me alone. So I'm about to order the pizza. The lady asked me what I want. I can't remember. As I'm about to order, it doesn't really matter what detail, but I definitely said no more than, hi, can I? I see an employee march down towards me. Of course, I'm not trying to make it about race or assume that the security guard was exclusively stalking me, even though everywhere I turned, he was around me. But in my heart, if you know, you know. So I know he's about to question me about whatever speculation the security guard had. He comes up to me and goes, hi, can I help you? In a condescending tone, very unnecessary. I find that incredibly bizarre because why am I being asked if I need help as I'm about to order something? I'm already being helped, so it's unnecessary. So I ask him, I don't even fight. I just say, I'm sorry, why are you asking me if I need help? He then replies, well, you know what? You've been wandering around the store and you have no groceries in your hand. My hands are so full. I have my bags with me. I have my Presto card. That is the card that you use to tap onto the train. I'm clearly commuting. This location is beside Union Station. People come in and out nonstop. Very unnecessary. So, and as he can see, there's many things wrong with with him asking me this. There's many things wrong with this whole entire situation. But that's when I lost it, because I'm about to buy something. So that's two things. One, you already can acknowledge that his argument was that I wasn't buying anything, I was wandering. I'm about to buy something. So the fact that you're approaching me when I'm about to buy something is just flat out disrespectful. And second of all, do you think that I'm going to order the slice of pizza and walk out with it? So then I say, okay, are you going up to every single person that doesn't have groceries in their hand and questioning them? You're not, because I know that this man's been following me, and to be honest with you, I feel like I'm being profiled. He then supported the security guard's decision at this point, and I'm in such a state of shock that I'm not even filming this because I can't believe what's happening. So the clip, I'll try to insert it. If not, it's all over my social media. You hear him say it's his job to follow who he feels he should follow. People? Who he feels he should follow. Great. who he feels he should follow. They're confirming that there's a reason why I should be followed. He offered to get the manager. He confidently did. They just really believed that I was up to something for whatever reason. The manager comes. This is one thing I will say about Longo's, is that the manager, pretty empathetic. He did apologize. He said he was on my side, especially because I had mentioned to him earlier on that I used to work above the building for 5 years. So I would come to that Longo's multiple times a day, and I still have my train to catch. He apologized, took my number. It is now Thursday and I still haven't heard back from them. They've replied to me on social media, well, just on Instagram, and DM'd me kind of like those general automated type of messages telling me to DM them, and they took my information down once again. So we'll see where this goes. What really kills me is that, of course, there's many things. There's not just one thing, but a few things that really upset me with even just speaking to the manager is, and just to my friends, because like I basically grew up in that building from age 20 to 25. I'm 28 now, but those were crucial, very formative years of my life spent there. I could walk around that place with my eyes closed. I got interviewed by a Canadian publication, and the last question was, what do you want our readers to know, or what's something that you want people to take away from this? And a few things, I guess I'll list them, but a few things are, you don't know who you're talking to. And I'm not saying this in the sense of, you don't know who I am. Like I said, I had worked in a restaurant above it. It was a highly lucrative job. You know, in some ways it kind of felt like an undercover boss moment, because it was just funny, of all people, and a lot of people say that, like, of all people to be questioned, it was me. And as painful as this situation was, I'm happy it happened to me. I don't know how much money I've spent at that place, because at the time, money wasn't even an object. What do you mean? I didn't check things. I just spent. I went there all the time. Whenever I was bored, I'd go to Starbucks, whatever. So it's ironic that I'm being treated like someone who would steal, or somebody who was less than. And I also mean that in the sense of, you don't know who you're talking to. You don't know, in the sense of, you also don't know what people are going through. Not even, you treat someone like scum, turns out they are this person and you shouldn't have. At the end of the day, we shouldn't treat anybody like garbage, even if the person was low income. So I guess this, it's it's obviously a nicer area in Toronto, but even if I was a person even if I wasn't who I am, and that's another reason why I wasn't bothered, because at the end of the day, with being stalked, because I know who I am, it's going to take a lot to break me down. But there's a lot of people who aren't as fortunate as I am, who go through worse. And one thing that really, I don't want to cry, upsets me about this is, the thing I couldn't stop thinking about is, imagine if this was a black teenager. Because at the end of the day, and I'm getting emotional thinking about this, at the end of the day, I am black. Even though I struggle, I do come from a place of privilege. Like at the grocery store I go to, I have low iron. I'm cold all the time. I usually walk in with the hood on. No, they all know me. Nobody says anything. And I can only imagine, like, what if I was wearing a hoodie and my head was cold and I had a hoodie on? I didn't look like this, and I shouldn't have to worry about how I look and how I have to dress to go to certain places. I was tired. I was just running in errands, just in and out of the city. I just can't imagine how they would deal with that situation. Like, for example, I don't have the whole interrogation recorded because I was in such a state of shock. If they would treat me like this, how would they treat somebody else? How would they treat a black man? The one black guy that I had noticed there, while I was talking to the manager, he stood and watched from his side. He didn't get involved because it wasn't really necessary. I was holding my own. But as I was leaving, he called out to me and he said, this happens to me all the time. And it's just funny because he was dressed very well. I can spot a fake. He did not have a fake designer bag. His bag was worth thousands upon thousands of dollars. And it's just funny that we get profiled. For the first time, we've all kind of suffered collectively one way or another. Of course, some people are suffering in other ways, but you see the rich people crying in their mansions. They're going through it. I'm going through it. You're going through it. The people that were harassing me are going through it. Why? Why give somebody a hard time of now, in this day and age, especially in Ontario? We've been in lockdown forever. Just an update from Canada. We haven't left. We usually get like a month-ish of freedom and then we're locked down. And I get it, we're sensitive, but like, we're not each other's enemy. At least wait to see if they're actually going to steal something. And if they steal something, then you can make your scene. But also, do you really, depending on the person, if they're not violent, if they don't of course stealing, I'm not condoning it, but like maybe they're stealing because they have a child to feed. Okay, of course address it, but don't degrade people. Don't give people a hard time. Everyone is going through it. You don't know what people are going through. As you can see, you know, business owners are losing money. Anyone can end up on the streets. Anybody can be in a vulnerable place where they need to, perhaps, I'm assuming shelters are closed, food banks, not food banks, but like soup kitchens and places that would normally help those in need are closed because of the spread of this virus. You don't. So even if they are, they could also be somebody who is a human being that just is having a hard time. That's the thing. Like the security guard, he actually didn't say anything. He was just kind of stalking from afar, but just the energy and the way this man, and I get it, he's probably going through, but the way he was degrading me and confidently going at me was just hateful. And a lot of people are commenting on TikTok saying that they've gone through it. A lot of people recognize the security guard. A lot of people have gone through it throughout Canada, throughout the world. We all experience it, but I've worked in customer service the vast majority of my life. I've had moments where I was tired and overworked and was quick with people, but never have I come from a place of hate. And if you know, you know when someone is treating you like you're less than, and no, not for me, not for anybody. And yeah, another thing to take away, I feel very, I don't know how I'm gonna chop this up because I know I'm rambling, but one, I shouldn't have to apologize. I shouldn't have to worry. And you know, I shouldn't even really have to explain myself in this video. There are some people, not too many, I am getting a lot of support that are saying, oh, it doesn't have to be about race. Why is it always about race? The issue at hand is, nobody is making it about race. Anybody that claims that somebody is that they are a victim of racism or racial profiling, they're not making it about a race. They're not making it about race. What you need to understand is it has been made about race. This whole society that we live on is made about race. Look at anybody, whatever standing they are in life, they're there through systemic racism. Even if they're doing well, compare them to somebody else who isn't of color. Those two had a different journey getting there. It is about race. Thank you for watching. All I can say is, if you're going through this, I know how you feel. I'm sorry. I don't want to get emotional at you. But yeah, just this, we know what happens, but you know, even if you get the vibe that somebody is following you, get your phone ready. My biggest regret is that I didn't have my phone ready until later on. These things happen. This is our reality. We are fortunate enough that the likelihood of us getting killed is drastically lower than the United States. But, you know, just because our wounds can't be seen does not mean that they're not there. So, and for people who aren't of color, like the white people, etc., people who are white passing, also do something, speak up. You know, this summer everybody was ready to fight, but I was there in the grocery store, and like I said, you know, people were walking by, they were kind of glancing, but the only person, and I'm not saying get involved, because even the black guy didn't get involved, but the only person that asked me if I'm okay or what happened was the black guy, and that is because he goes through this on the regular. Speak up. Or, you know, and if you're afraid, you don't want confrontation, whatever, at least ask the person if they're okay. And to everybody that's checked up on me and asked me if I'm okay, thank you. In some ways I am, in some ways I'm not, whatever. Anyway, so that's that. I'll keep you posted. I don't know if I'm going to upload on YouTube that much, but for sure TikTok and Instagram. So I'll link those below, and thank you for watching. If you made it this far, thank you for watching, and I appreciate it.